probably will finish the good ending today for Slavia. That's nice. Perhaps even start on the bad ending. I don't know how the bad ending will be different though. Epilogue. Finally, my mind began to clear. Yeah, he woke up here. Hello, Skywalker. Come over here. You don't worry. Should I move that? There you go. What happened anyway? Fell asleep on the bus, going to the district center. Yes, something like that. And Slavia was sitting by my side. Now, I'm back here. Seems like during the week that I spent there in the camp, I haven't gotten so used to the fact that I'd never returned to my previous life. Now I just have no idea how to react to all of this. After all, my first main wish was to get home. But in the end, everything was like in a bad movie. Hey, what are you doing? At last, I had come back, but I'm still shocked. No, I felt no fear. I was rather interested and upset. After all, I'd already made up my mind to start a new life with Slavia, leaving all my problems behind, insults, suffering, self-examination, unfinished affairs, and plans for the future. Obviously, that life could not be worse than this one, at least. Hello, Miko 39, 32, 22. I'm sorry I don't speak Russian. I don't understand what you're typing in there. There's no returning to it now. On the other hand, if someone had told me a week ago that I would be sent into a different world just like that in the blink of an eye, I would not have believed him. I wouldn't either. Mika says I'm low level in speaking English. That's fine. I mean, you're better at English than my Russian. Already. They said hi. Oh, hello. You speak Russian, Kolgetinata. How many languages do you speak? I'm curious. So, what makes such a fantastic event happening again so impossible? Nice snake. Thanks. Want to see a better picture of the snake? There we go. So, what makes such a fantastic event happening again so impossible? I mean, something that happens once can happen again. It's a cat. Yeah, not a snake. Moving my legs with difficulty, I went into the kitchen, got a glass of water, and returned to the room. Oh, here we go. Colgate on top says, some Russian, some Swedish, decent English, and native Finnish. All right, because Russia's to your east, Sweden to your west, and English is just all around good in our area of the world. And of course, native Finnish. Nice. I only know the English. Well, I know a little bit of German, but I couldn't couldn't do anything good with the German. Could ask for the bathroom, I suppose. The ice-cold liquid with a disgusting aftertaste of bleach powder revived me to some degree. Oh man, that's rough. Now I have to decide what to do next. Suddenly, I realized that I could not bear the silence. Wait. Vladimir Putin and vodka? I don't know about Putin, but I do like Russian vodka. In general, I don't like politicians. None that are in office at the moment, anyway. I don't know about how it is in Finland at the moment. Politically speaking, I mean. He could not bear the silence. Isn't this the exact same thing that happened the other ending when he got back? I can't bear the silence. After turning the computer on, I launched a random song in the player and managed to calm down somewhat. Oh, there we go. The two parentheses is Russian for a smiley face. But Miko says that no, it isn't. Oh, Miko, if you could, please, I know English is not your main language. Russian, I can't do any Russian whatsoever. After turning on the computer, I launched a random song. Right. And seriously speaking, what can I do? Good point. Recently, I realized that absolutely nothing is up to me. No. By someone's will, I was pulled out of my usual world, then sent back. I mean, whatever pulled you out and sent you back, it's over, right? You've had your... Like, he doesn't know it's always been a week. No answers were found during the week in the camp. Wait, were there no answers? Like, he made his decision to live for someone else, I guess. I'm thinking about the different endings. Here we go. Like, both the Elisa endings ended with him learning about what do we call it? Like, making an effort to make something of his, like, something positive, like, from his perspective. Having the effort. And both of those times, he learned that lesson. He went sent back into the future, back to his real life, and he took control and he did some good stuff. In his own ending, did he learn something in the Simeon good ending? I don't recall. No, he did not learn anything. Maybe he did, I just didn't pay attention, or I don't remember. Because I having a hypothesis here that, like, when he learns a life lesson, then he gets sent back. That's my hypothesis. Like, I was thinking that the good ending with Lena was just... because he didn't really learn anything there. I don't recall correctly. Just got a girlfriend and a wife. I mean, he took responsibility over her, I suppose. I don't know. Colgate Inotep says he learned that somebody sent him there? I don't understand how you mean. I was thinking like learning and evolving like a person, but you're thinking that he learned that someone sent him there. Like, he doesn't know who or what, though. Or did I miss something else? What's the point in speculating now? Got oh, right, yeah, he did get the messages. Yeah, I was thinking about just learning something from the camp and then being sent back, but no, you're right. There was someone that talked like that was some party, right? Like they went to the party and all of this happened from that party. And like we didn't get to learn a lot about what happened next. It was just somebody contacted him and talked about this event. Yeah. I must forget everything that happened, like a bad dream. Oh man, dude, that's maybe those were just hallucinations. I don't really care now. But that is the thing, though. Even if they were just hallucinations, it's like it still takes its emotional toll, and as a person, you really should deal with it. The only thing that prevented me from completely forgetting this short period of my life was Slavia. I don't think so. I think like having a full week vivid, like it is feeling real, just being teleported to a different time, that is not something you forget. No way. I recalled her smile and all the time we spent together. From the meeting on the very first day to the night in the forest and our departure from the camp, my heart furiously jumped inside my chest, spreading oppressive pain all throughout my body. I liked her at first sight. So gentle, caring, understanding. Just like that anime heroine. Heroine? Like the drug? No. Heroine? Heroin. I'm pretty sure it's like heroin. It's almost like the drug. That's weird. What was her name? The one who helped an antisocial fellow like me deal with depression. I haven't seen a lot of drama anime. I wouldn't know. And if you think about it, there are no such people in real life. I mean, I agree with him that Slavia doesn't seem like a real person. She behaved very strangely overall. But like there are caring, what did he call them? What did he say again? Gentle, caring, and understanding. Those kind of people for sure exist. Slavia asked nothing in return, needed no encouragement, never expected to be understood or praised for her work. And that is him not understanding people. All people need encouragement and need to be understood and need to be praised for their work. It's like, I'm pretty sure there are no people, like living people, not robots like Slavia, but like real people that don't need these things. Like this is like thinking like this about another person, especially like a person that you're expecting to be in a relationship with. That is just you trampling, stepping all over them. That is not nice. She was just being herself, a girl that cannot exist in real life. If you think clearly, that's really exactly what she was. It seems like I've seen one single week-long dream about the pioneer camp, Soviet teenagers and their camp leader, about warm summer nights and gatherings around a fire, about light-hearted children's games and simple human joys, about one moment that lasted a week and everlasting summer. That's nostalgia. But not just seen, I've been there. I was part of everything. My eyes unwillingly filled with tears. There we go. Can you please Google the camp and Google the people? Not tears of pain or despair, tears of sorrow and bright melancholy. Yeah, nostalgia. Even if everything's over, I experienced something that most people could never even dream about. Slavia's image flashed in my head brighter and brighter. I would love so much for her to return from that camp with me. Maybe I have nothing to offer her now, but my entire life is still ahead of me. I guess I learned a lot of useful lessons from these events. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I couldn't help thinking that it all seemed too perfect, like it was written according to some simple plan. Great. A loser hero, a fantastic incident, a wonderful transformation. I guess it's not possible, not in this life. Will I become the person I was before, only a day or a week later? Well, it's the most realistic course of events. One thing is for sure, I'll never be able to go back. Why is that so sure? You have no idea. About a month has passed since I returned from Soviet, or to say it more correctly, since I woke up. I returned to my usual life as a loner, surfing the internet for days, going outside only to shop, as expected. It began to suit me again. Well, obviously, moments of melancholy and depression occurred. A person like me just can't do without them. Yeah, but they lasted no longer than usual. Except those times when, while sleeping, I returned to that summer, that mysterious camp. But after awakening, I tried to banish these thoughts as soon as possible. After all, what's the point in dreaming of becoming a wizard? Even if miracles happen, and I was proof that they do. No, you weren't proof that they do, not at all. Stuff just happens. They happen completely independent of us. The word sweet doesn't give you a sweet taste regardless of how often you pronounce it. But nevertheless, something has changed in my existence. Formerly, I didn't think ahead. I didn't really care how long I would live, whether 1 week or 40 years, but now I looked forward to it with optimism. Not like I tried to change anything or become a different person, but the world now seemed more understandable. Not simple, not friendly. No, not friendly at all, but just understandable. Before I couldn't cope with some events or facts, though I kind of realized that they were there for a reason. Now I started seeing life as something simpler. What happens, happens for the best. Or at least it happens and I can live with it. Yeah, that assessment. And if I can't, I'm powerless in that case. I guess I started smiling more often, or at least I didn't carry that look of deep universal frustration 24/7. Even my acquaintances on the internet obviously noticed some changes in me, and their opinions agreed that these changes are good. Now I think I'm ready to live on. thanks to Sovyonok and its inhabitants. Without them, I wouldn't be able. Oh, I wouldn't be. It was the beginning of January. The city had barely recovered from the New Year hangover. The streets were almost empty during the day, not to mention the nights, when the only stranger walking down the street seemed extremely busy with some business, rushing somewhere for a reason that couldn't wait. I had no such reason. I just decided to have a little walk. It's necessary to get some fresh air sometimes. A winter's night is the best time to be alone with yourself. I always thought that true solitude can be felt in a crowd rather than burning hot desert, boundless plain, or on top of a mountain covered with snow. Yeah, it's an interesting way of looking at it, I suppose. I wouldn't say it's true solitude, but there is a certain type of solitude that you can only feel in a crowd of people. It's different from the solitude, like just being out in empty nature. In the stream of people, words, thoughts, and aspirations, everyone had their own aim and direction. And I was the only one strolling among them, deserving no attention from others. Oof. The ego. I was the only one. And maybe they're like vectors moving in different directions. They never meet at Cartesian coordinates. Maths! It's the same thing here. These people are walking, running in one direction, and I'm dragging along in the other. Did I feel lonely? Before, yes, but now, highly unlikely. In the bright, blinding lights of the city, the noise of cars and the swirling crowds, I enjoyed a heavy symphony of silence. But now the situation is slightly different. There's just me in the street, and so I'm alone, not only within my own self, but within the whole world. Being a sand grain in the desert is not the same thing as being a water drop in the ocean. Agreed. So what's best? Probably an ocean if you like movement. Well, sand grain moves as well. It's very similar, like if you do the metaphor. Sand grains move in waves as well, right? Like the dunes moving in waves and sands moving along the waves. Just a lot slower. And there's life in the ocean? Maybe not. It depends on where in the ocean you are. The ocean is way bigger. I don't know. In the crowd, nobody noticed me. Nobody paid any attention. But now everyone who peeks out the window or sees me while driving past will think, why can't he just stay home? Maybe he has some urgent matter. Suppose he's mad or he's just drunk. But I think I'm missing something. It's like when you're out in a crowded city and just move around, people don't notice other people. Right? It's like you have to grab their attention. And if someone does grab your attention, none of these questions seem relevant. Like, why can't he just stay at home? Maybe he has some urgent matter. Maybe that one. Maybe he has some urgent matter. If someone is like rushing past, then they're grabbing our attention. Oceans are still relatively unexplored. Yeah. I guess. They are indeed. And in some ways it's more difficult than going up into space. Like all the pressure in the bottom. But a lot of it as well is like it's empty. like desert, there's a few living things here and there. Quite empty. Other parts are super inhabited though. Like there are different biomes, different ecologies. I don't know. Just like in above ground, like some places are desert where there's not much happening at all, and other places are jungles where there happens a lot of stuff. Oceans are same like that. Maybe comparing oceans to a single biome is a mistake. Like the ocean should be divided into biomes, just like the land. So comparing in the ocean would be comparing like above the ocean, I suppose. None of that is relevant for this metaphor, though, but it's just tangent. I suppose he's mad or just drunk. I never liked standing out from the crowd. Oh, he is standing out. I must have missed something. Here we go. Now the situation is slightly different. There's just me in the street, so I'm alone, not only within my own self, but within the whole world. Alright, since it's January morning, it's not bustling, right? Beginning of January, and it's hungover, so the streets are quite empty. So they might notice me. But then it says in the crowd nobody notices me. Oh, right. He's comparing the situation now. When he is in a crowd, nobody notices anybody. But now he's standing out. Because there is no crowd, I think. I never liked standing out from the crowd when it's not appropriate. So opposing society was never an option for me. Now it was different. As if I tried to tell everybody, look, I can be happy too. You need your TV and your hot chocolate. But I just need the snow, the night, a dark room, and a dull monitor screen. Look, I'm not any worse off than you. I felt sadness in my heart, but it was a serene sadness. Do I really need the things that I have, and I do not? Maybe I have something much more valuable. I didn't notice how I came to the bus stop of the 14 route. This brings back memories. I sat down and rummaged in my pockets trying to find cigarettes. However, the packet was empty. Fine, I crumpled it up and threw it into the bin. Maybe I'll get healthier. A lonely star was shining in the sky. Today I read on the internet that according to calculations of scientists, one of the most beautiful astronomical events has already ceased to exist and we'll see it only decades later. Maybe this star has already exploded as well, and now it is only a beautiful image in the night sky, somewhere near a lost planet on the edge of the galaxy. However, why does one or another thing exist? Is it simply because it's just there, has shape and can be touched? Or is it because we believe that it exists? Well, no to both of those things. Is it simply because it's just there? There we go. That's enough. If it's there, then it exists. It doesn't have to have shape. It doesn't need to be able to be touched. Can you touch space? I mean, I can touch air, but I can't really touch the space. That doesn't mean that the space isn't there, right? At first I thought the answer is simple, but on the other hand, Even if the star is gone and we can still see it's cold light, you can't touch a star. Cold light? That's an oxymoron. Maybe it helped someone to get out of a snowy winter forest, gave someone hope or a bit of warmth to someone else. Could a simple astronomical object that exploded, God knows when, do all this? Can billions of people believe in something that doesn't really exist? Yes. Well, one could argue that it depends on your definition of existence, right? Like there is, you can talk about the world outside yourself, like the real stuff that happens. And then you can talk about what happens inside the minds of people. Like unicorns do exist in my mind, and probably in your mind as well, right? How else would we know what a unicorn is if it doesn't exist? It's a different perspective of existence. Like unicorn doesn't exist in the same, like if we look at this glass, all the molecules and atoms and whatnot that goes on building the structure of this glass. It's two different types of existence. But belief itself made any object real. Yeah, he's doing the materialistic thing. He only cares about the thing in itself and not the perspective of the thing. Which is weird because... Here we go. Because he just did this. Or is it because we believe that it exists? Like, both of them are existence, but in different ways. And comparing those two, it doesn't mesh. I believe at least none that I've ever heard of. Jesus. Snowfall grew stronger. Now it was a real snowstorm. Midnight. I was about to leave, but suddenly someone emerged from the solid white veil and ran under the bus stop roof. Oh, is it gonna be Slavia? It was clearly a girl, and she had a long ponytail hanging out of her hood. She stood with her back to me, so I couldn't make out her face. Excuse me, has this last bus already left? So maybe they went to this party. All the girls and the other people were at this party. They got like super trippy on some trippy new drug. But that wouldn't make any sense. They would like it. Maybe, oh wait, I was thinking that they hooked up in the party. But perhaps not. Perhaps it was the kind of party where everybody just sits around like this, drooling, you know? Oh, hello, Banana Walker Monkey. One of the fun things about studying education is if I don't like an assignment, I can just make up my own. Nice. Oh, dang, we got snow now, he says. Yeah, we went on the bus with Slavia, I think you missed, and then we woke up. And we're in the epilogue, in the real world. And I'm guessing the person right here is just like with the Alisa ending that we have a girl with the same name just showing up. Wait, one of the fun things about studying education is if I don't like an assignment, I can just make up my own. Wait, does that mean like your professor or teacher or whatever, if they give you an assignment and you say just, let's screw that, let me just do my own and turn it in, and they just accept that? I mean, I suppose. As long as you show that you understand what you're doing. Does the protagonist remember his experience through each iteration of the campaign? He does not. There is like a meta thing going on that there are other copies of him that remembers experience throughout each iteration, but he does not. It's like they are all separate for our protagonists. But then Awful Monkey says, yeah, that's pretty much what he does. Like he makes his own assignment. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. Color up the name tag and gives it away. Could be electronic, says Colgate in the top. It's gotta be electronic. He's gone all transgender on us. Wouldn't surprise me. Excuse me, has the last buzzer already left? Says electronic in his girly voice. She asked without turning to me. Where can she be heading so late? The 410 must be the most cursed route in the city. Not only does it sometimes take people away to another reality, but it can't even arrive when you want it to. There is one more bus coming, just after midnight, I think. Thank you. The smile was clear in her voice. For some time I just sat silently examining the girl. Finally she spoke. Where are you going so late? Is it really that interesting for her? She's just making conversation, dude. Just having a walk, I answered thoughtfully. And you, are you here for something important? Well, not really, just going home. Where do you live? I couldn't help asking. Far away, she said vaguely. And I live nearby. It's a good area. I would say there couldn't be a worse one. Well, that's a failure of imagination. There are way worse areas. Like the desert? The desert is a worse area to be. The moon? Sounds rough. Mars? Ugh. A war zone? Ugh. I didn't have too many options. You don't like it? Don't know. I got used to it by now. I think people can be happy anywhere they want. Perhaps. Well, think of it. People can live even in the North Pole. In stations, I mean. Or the ocean. Yeah. The ocean, I've been... Like, there are people who live on boats. And they seem to have a great time on the ocean. Well, again, the ocean is it's kind of big, you know. There are many different places in the ocean. And in the Sahara Desert, and in many other places, it's the people themselves that are the most important. Yeah, I get that. Come on. It's difficult to disagree with you, says him. My comment sounded so philosophical that I unconsciously smiled. Did it though? You don't sound too honest to me. Surface of the ocean is probably fine. Bottom, not so much, says Colgatin on top. Oof, yeah, that would be rough. Like, depending on how deep, but like, in most places, the bottom of the ocean would like crush you and you would die pretty fast, I think. Like, super fast, probably. Well, no, it's not that bad. I know that. I think that people have been diving like 100 meters down without too much of an issue, as long as you like, well, equalize the pressure. Now, why do you say that, madame? She laughed quietly. I think you're a good person. Now she turned and I realized why her voice, stature, and everything else seemed familiar to me. Slavia stood in front of me. For a moment, I lost the ability to speak, but just for a moment, of course. It could just be a girl who looks like Slavia from my dream. Or am I experiencing the strangest deja vu? This city is not a pioneer camp. I'm not wearing a uniform, and it's not summer now. Trying to convince myself that it's just an illusion, I decided to ask a question. Have we met before? She carefully inspected me and smiled. I don't think so, but your face seems familiar. Maybe she was at that party. Had you ever been to a pioneer camp as a kid? Of course not, she laughed. When I was born, they'd already been disbanded. Alright, although I had a dream recently. He thought for a second. Me too. About a pioneer camp. Maybe that's where we met, the girl said seriously. Possibly. By the way, my name is Slavia. Actually, my full name is Slaviana, but everyone calls me Slavia. You can do that too. I was about to tell her that I know, but then I stopped short. After all, is it that important to know why Slavia from my dream is standing right here, right now, in front of me? At this frozen stop of the charmed bus? Oh, just a moment ago it was cursed, and now it's charmed, eh? Bus number 410. After all, there are dreams that you don't want to wake up from. Mine is Semyon. What a lovely name. Starts with an S too. Yeah. So you live far away, don't you? Well, not really, she named the district. I thought it would be somewhere in the south. Why? I don't know. Maybe because you look like a pioneer. Oh, you and your pioneers, Slavia laughed. Maybe we wouldn't even meet. We wouldn't ever meet if not for them. Why? Her expression became serious. Just a joke. Listen, do you agree that the world exists because we believe in it? That's silly. Banana Waffle Monkey found another tabula rasa. Congratulations. That's the third, right? Yep. Yes. That's like some kind of subjective idealism. Yes, and it's not stupid, but the way he conflates the two different parts. It's like this was... How long ago was Immanuel Kant? I gotta check. (1840). That's like maybe 200 years ago? Not quite. He pointed out, and I'm pretty sure most of philosophy agree, as far as I know. Don't quote me on this, but as far as I know, most people agree that there has to be something that generates. There has to be something out there for us to idealize. Like when we look at physics and whatnot, the world does not seem to be the way we experience it with our senses, right? But there has to be something out there for us to look at and interpret and create an internal representation of. If there was nothing out there, where would, like, it wouldn't make sense, pretty sure. Slavia thought for a bit. This school of philosophy became close to me recently. Well, I don't know. I'm not that good with these subjects. What are your subjects then? She smiled. Different ones. No doubt. But it's just been a few minutes since we met. But it seems like it's been so much longer. Oh my god, it's so smooth. For some reason, I got the same feeling. An awkward pause followed. The snowfall has eased, but there was still no bus. I looked at my watch and assumed that it won't arrive at all. Slavia seemed to feel even colder by now as her cheeks grew more red and her hands were now moving frenetically, trying to warm her body. Seems like the 410 bus is done for today, I guess, she said sadly. If you want, I started. After pulling myself together. What? You can stay at my place. Oof, but we've just met, she laughed. She didn't seem frightened even a tiny bit. Yes, I understand, but it's so cold outside. Aren't you afraid? Or would he be afraid? She looked at me playfully. Me? Should I be? Who knows? Who knows? I just suggested it. Don't think of it. Think anything of that sort. I started to make excuses. I understand, she laughed. You don't mind, of course. Even though it seemed impossible, she flushed even more. It flushed? Is that really the word? Isn't flushing? Yeah. It's like flushing a toilet. For some reason, I've never connected those two words that are the same word. No, it's called blushing. There we are. She blushed even more. It has to be, right? It's just a spelling error. It's gotta be. Should we go? Let's wait a bit longer. Maybe it will arrive. Okay. So, what do you do in your spare time? Slavia asked after a while. Oh, here we go. He Googled. Oh. Of a person's skins, red and hot, typically the result of illness or strong emotions. Isn't that blushing? You're becoming red in the face. Result of illness or strong emotion. Oh, right, it's an adjective. So flushed is the adjective. Blushed is a verb. Huh. That's kind of weird. She's ill again, says Colgate in a dub. Yeah. It's like, it's having a rough go of it. I mean, there we go. Slavia asked after a while, what did she ask? So what do you do in your spare time? Oh, Banana Waffle Monkey heard somewhere that blushed is a portmanteau of blood and rush. Yeah, blood rush. Blending two words, yeah. Yeah, I got it from the context. When you know enough, then a lot of words make sense in context. It's nice. And it's, I'm guessing, portmanteau is the pronunciation. I work at home, kinda. I just couldn't tell her that I do nothing. Banana Waffle Monkey says, yeah, score. Sounds good. Why? I don't know. You have a lot of free time, and you don't have to go anywhere. And so on. And you? I asked, trying to change the subject somehow. I'm studying. Getting an ethnographer's degree. What's that? Slavy asked seriously. Never mind. I'll be an ecologist. Well, a career to be proud of. We chatted about random things, and the boss was still nowhere to be seen. It was past 1 already. Time passed by so fast. I guess Slavia understood my thoughts. Shall we go? She smiled. I stood up and headed slowly towards my house. She carefully held onto my arm and looked into my eyes. You know, I'm sure that this year will be better than the previous one. I've heard that a lot of people have been saying this lately. Banana Waffle Monkey says, we chatted about random things equals, I was too lazy to create dialogue to go further, to further develop the characters. Actually, maybe. For me, I've felt a lot of times that he's creating too much dialogue at times. It's like just showing that there is a passage of time, that it wasn't just 5 minutes and then she decided to tag along. Instead, they were standing there for like an hour chatting around and stuff like that. Probably about stuff that they have already chatted about as well. And then she follows him home. You know? Different interpretation. You would hate waiting for Godot. Godot? For Godot. I have no idea what that is. I need to know now. Waiting for... That's a game engine, by the way. Godot. That's so fun because the players who made the game and the guys who made the game engine called it Godot. But everybody else I've seen call it Godot. People Godot. Staging by Otmar Kajisa. First of all, it's a play by Samuel Beckett, which 2 characters, Vladimir and Estojan Gogo, engage in a variety of discussions and encounters while awaiting Godot, who never arrives. I'm not so sure about that. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Man from Earth. You're gonna like it if you haven't seen it. You're gonna like it. It's about teachers. Is this a good one? Waiting for Godot? I'm guessing the movie is what we're talking about. Is it a good movie? Should I watch it? He says there's a lot of contention over how the title of the play is pronounced because the pronunciation has implications on the meaning. Personally, I love it. Alright, here we go. It's like I like discussion movies. Nothing happens for an hour or 2. I mean, saying nothing happens, it's the same like The Man from Earth. It's just people sitting in having small talk as well. Keep this going. Well, The Man from Earth is quite exciting though. So now I gotta know, what's the difference between Godot and Godot? I have no idea what that word, I don't know from context either. And what's the difference between the words? Do I need to know them before watching the movies? But yeah, if you like small talk, because The Man from Earth, it's about a couple of teachers. One teacher, it's his going away party that has been hastily put together because he just quit his job quite quickly, and all the colleagues got together and helping him unpack a little bit, and they're having a few drinks. And then he claims that he is, what is it, like 37,000 years old, and they just discuss that for 1.5, 2 hours. Great movie. Great movie. It's kind of in the same vein as 12 Angry Men. That type of movie, you know. You just have people sitting in a room talking, but it's so exciting and a lot of stuff happens, but nothing really happens. But all right. Let's always hope that the next year is better than the last. Banana Waffle Monkey says, if it is God art or God art, then it really reinforces certain theological implications. Oh, God art. I hadn't even thought about that pronunciation. Implications was plain that might not be as relevant if the title is pronounced another way. Implications, all right. And I like that kind of ambiguity when one really doesn't know. Like what's it called? The Eye of the Tornado by Megadeth. That's a song that I did my poetry classes on in English. There are like 3 different interpretations of that song, I think, depending on how you look at it. I love that kind of stuff. Ambiguity is the word. I'm not misusing it, I don't think. Comfy guy. Every story has its beginning and its end. It's like a good end. Every story has its own... Oh, that was it. We're done. I like ambiguity because it makes it easier to pad the essay length in a relevant way. How long have you been studying on uni? How long have you been studying? Curious. So I was thinking about padding early in my studies. But in the end, it was more like, oh fuck, I can only use 10 pages? How am I gonna fit all this in here? All right. Yeah, I'm more and more leaning towards like the mystery ending, that it's... They get to the party, everybody gets high as fuck on some kind of new psychedelic that doesn't exist in our world. And all of them have some weird, like, I'm not quite sure in how much they interact with each other, like, probably not. I'm thinking that they're just sitting there staring at each other, so they all will be, like, all the people who are at the party will be, what is it? Subconsciously put into the dream state or the trip, I suppose. Banana Waffle Monkey says, my first major essay for uni English class was literally to pick a word from a text we've read and then use the OED to find the multiple definitions that word has had over time and how the meaning of the text is changed because of each definition. That sounds like a pretty cool thing to do. I don't know what OED means, but just going through original English dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary. There we go. Ha! Called it before you typed it. Sweet. Etymological dictionary. Nice. I love etymology. It's fun. Colgate Inotep says pioneer drug. Yeah. That's my hypothesis now. I think they go to the party and they have this weird fucking thing. It's weird that it goes back to from when he was on the bus. That is weird. And in the Lena ending doesn't make sense either. Well, maybe it does. Maybe the drug is so fucked up that it's like a psychosis, you know? You build up a fantasy world and he can't leave it. Just like when you do psychedelic drugs, for some people, they have a psychosis, right? They end up in a psychosis. And it becomes difficult to leave that mode of thinking. So maybe since this is a hell of a drug, he just ends up there and ends up in a hospital where he just sits and lives out his dream with Lena. That would make sense for all the endings now. Especially it would make sense as well that the drugs, we can design the drug however we like. It might even be that he ends up killing himself on this drug. Two of the endings where he dies could be like Colgate Inotep says Lena ending has a real world arrows though. Yeah. That Lena ending, man. All the other endings fit together, like he goes back to real time, but there he stays. Or he kills himself. The Lena ending is different from all the others. And when he dies as well. The bad Semyon ending, I assume that he dies. So, am I right in my assumption that the Slavia bad ending is pretty much the exact same story, just instead of her showing up at the bus stop in the end, he just goes on with his life, so that the Slavia good and bad ending. Did I say Lena? I meant Slavia. That the good and bad ending are pretty much the same. Like the Lena good and bad ending. No, wait, no. The Alisa good and bad ending was pretty much the same, right? Is it the same with her? It is correct. Therefore, I'm thinking of just skipping the bad end then, since I already know what happens. We got this. Miku ending. Similar to Alice endings, yeah. So maybe go to the Uliana ending. I'm quite curious. I'm a little bit curious. Yeah. Let's give the Slav a bad ending. We're good with that. Gotta be a lot of clicking already. Alright, and we're speeding on. Come with me. Sure, I'll come with you. Let's reply. It's rude not to. Do nothing. Take the couplet. Yes, we will take the couplet. Let's take the keys. Where's the book? Keep silent. It's fucking weird, man. Like, she seemed like such a put together person, but the more you get to know her, the weirder she becomes. Alright, dinner with Juliana. Yeah, let's just go with the good endings overall. So, kitchen, canteen, even. So we've gone through. Go with the cards. Let's go alone. Pretty sure I've gone alone before, yeah. This doesn't matter, so don't bet, I guess. Skip the tutorial. We'll fix this. So we lose against Liana. And then we go to the C stage. I think I've done this. Yep. Yeah, sure. Have I done this already? Yep. Not tonight. So I say yes, but then I don't show up. Well, whatever. Let's just go with no. Here we go. No look for answers. Help. I should go take a look. Wait. Go take a look. No, who cares? Yeah, this is a big thing. Go taking a look screws me over, so who cares? Better look for answers. Then we go to the esports club. Have I done this? Well, they might be not so giant after all. That was surely a hard decision to make. Yeah, I don't think I've done this. Wait, no. Fuck. I was gonna go to the sports club. Can I go back to like an autosave? That loading? There we go. Final. I put sports club. Oof. I was paying attention. I don't think I've seen these at all. I was hoping that I could escape the obligatory work if I pretended that I'm helping at the sports club. They obviously have tons of members and could probably do just as well without a single extra pair of pants. Okay, didn't taps. No. Oh, I missed that. Sorry. I'm guessing it was for my choice. I made mistakes here. However, I'd better visit the sports ground, at least to check in there. Just in case Olga finds out that her ideal pioneer slacks off and dodges community service. You never know. I could imagine worse punishments than a public telling off at a party gathering. I wasn't really planning for that to happen. All of a sudden, I saw no cleaning, painting, or repairing, but a football match. They were playing 5 versus 6. Oh, here we go. Why do you have to do this? I took a closer look at the players and recognized Juliana. I won't interfere, I just watched. The teams were obviously mismatched. One team consisted of entirely younger kids that looked about 12 years old. The other team consisted of entirely of teenagers. Besides, they had one extra player, Juliana. Mind you, what can just one extra person, moreover one girl, do? Soon enough I realized that I was mistaken. Juliana had a good dribbling technique, cutting through the defenders one by one. Fuck, can we get rid of this picture? Thanks. Hey, come join us. They're short one man on their team. I guess that's what counts as community service around here. We've already finished everything, said Juliana, sounding insulted. I looked over the sports ground again. The benches were freshly painted, new nets placed behind the goals. How did they manage to get through all of this stuff? Come join their team. Well, given that I escaped last time, I should indeed play now. Ball at the center. We start. With the very first touch, but oh man. I don't care about football, man. With the very first touch, I put the ball into the top corner. Wait. Call it soccer, right, in America. Put the ball in the top corner with a delicate strike. Actually, it wasn't that difficult. The pitch was at most 50 meters long, and the goalkeeper of the opposing team couldn't even reach the crossbar. Sometime later, we tied up, despite our team Despite our team being 7 or 8 goals behind at the start. Oh, so good at football, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like he's just sitting around playing anime, but now suddenly he's a football game. Objectively speaking, one should note that Juliana's team scored a couple of goals during my time here too. More precisely, she scored. You couldn't say that she had Ronaldinho's tricks or precise backhand shots in her pocket. She should just kick the ball into open spaces, and coming up towards goal, she just toe punted every time. Toe punting for the win. However, such a dull strategy brought positive results. I could not keep my eye on every opponent, and my teammates were not much help. Certainly, I played better than all of them, and theoretically, I could have scored as many times as I wanted, but it seemed unsportsmanlike to me. Winning isn't everything; it's taking part that counts, isn't it? Simeon played football when he was younger. All right. I mean, I played football when I was younger. I'm not good at it. Maybe he was a football nerd. I didn't remember. After Juliana's words, penalty shootout. The winner wins the game. I made up my mind that I don't want to lose. At the time it was 11-9 in our favor, so it wasn't reasonable to object. You're in goal, we'll shoot. I'll shoot. We switched then. 1 shot each? Yes. I stood at the line and got ready. She took a run and sent it straight into my hands. That's not fair. What's not fair? Let's shoot again. Okay, just do it, I said, smiling. Second shot would go better in rugby. One more time? Absolutely not, she sniffed. But you shall never score a goal against me. We'll see. I put a ball in the low right corner of a goal with a precise kick. Juliana didn't even move. However, there was no point. Penalty kicks like that are uncatchable. Looks like I won. She answered nothing and just looked at me resentfully. I needed to lighten the mood. Don't get upset. That's when the music started playing, calling the pioneers for lunch. All right, I'll get even with you some other time. She laughed, waved her hand, and ran into the direction of the canteen. I juggled the ball a little and followed her. Who's marching forward in a row? It's our pioneer squad. Run. Let's help them clean up. I'll start telling Juliana we've done this. Flavia left. I probably should not refuse her after everything she did for me, but I wasn't made for such activities. Oh, the pioneers kept on dancing. I haven't seen this before. At least I like the ball. Olga danced too. I consider that not really appropriate. Well, the leader has to keep order around, especially since she's not 17. Olga came over to me as if she felt that someone doubted her professionalism. Why are you not dancing? I don't really want to. Your choice, she smiled cunningly. Then I have a perfect task for you. Nice. A task which is... Any other activity seemed better than dancing. You cleaned the canteen well today, but I think you haven't fully atoned yet. Uliana. What? Come here. Uliana came over to us reluctantly. I see you've had enough dancing for a long time to go. No, I haven't. Sorry. She was sweating like a pig, so it seemed like the leader was right. I have a task for you and Simeon. But Olga, Uliana begged. It's dance time now, and it's late. It won't take much time. Slavia was sorting books in the library, but hasn't finished. Wait, wasn't it Lena who was sorting the books in the library? You only have a couple of shelves to do, but no buts. For goodness sake, I don't like public work, but dancing, I'm ready. Good job, Samuel. That's my boy, a real pioneer. You should follow his example, Uliana. Uliana didn't appreciate such example, though. So do it. The whole camp is relying on you. I'll remember this, says. She hissed, The camp in the evening was beautiful. Silence and peace calmed me. Only distant music from the square reminded me that I'm not alone here. Then I goes, all right, to the infirmary. Right, forget Inotab says. Ah, shit, says Banana Waffle Monkey. I think Sirius can invade my maps now. Ooh, exciting stuff. Exciting stuff indeed. It's gonna fuck you up, dude. And Uliana, who just came back, could do the cleaning in the dress, though. I grinned. This is all your fault. She breathed heavily, and her face was red as a tomato, so I wouldn't have been surprised if steam started coming out of her ears. It's all your fault. Why me again? If only you'd just been quiet. But that I've changed. She'd made us do it anyway. She wasn't able to speak normally and just hissed. So what if I kept silence? Do you think she would have let you just keep on having fun? Uliana looked at me. She seemed to calm down a bit. Really? You don't care at all? You can't even dance? So what if I can't? If you had danced with me, it would have been fun, she returned with her usual childlike mode. Might have. But you see how the things turned out. We won't have a chance to see who is a better dancer. We approached the library. It was really dark outside. I was slightly surprised by Olga's request, or more like an order, to sort books at night. This is so bizarre. There was no light inside, and the switch didn't work. There was no light inside, and the switch didn't work, unpleasantly clicking with every push. It might have actually worked properly, but the lights weren't turning on. Wait, I'll get the candles, says Uliana. I was just about to ask how she knew where the candles and matches are, when two small lights appeared on a table next to me. That's better, Uliana said, satisfied with herself. What's next? What next? He looked at me inquiringly. Oof. What will we do next? How do I know? She chuckled. Great. Walked around the bookcases. Olga said something about a couple of shelves. I touched the books and made sure that there were no dust on them. Looked like someone did a really good job before us. Having examined the whole library, I didn't find anything to clean. The leader must have made a mistake. Suddenly, I heard footsteps from behind. The old cracked floor was squeaking, so Uliana wasn't able to sneak up on me unnoticed. Boo! I turned around. Oh my god, I'm so scared, please. Oh, whatever, she turned away resentfully. It looks really clean in here, so the dimly illuminated rows of books looked at me reproachfully. Unknown authors from long-forgotten years. I wonder if anyone still remembers them. Jania must remember. I'm sure that she remembers everything. Okay, sit down. Liana moved a chair over to me. I sat on it. So what's next? Let's tell scary stories to each other. We have 2 chairs and 2 candles, so there should be 2 stories. 1 mine and 1 yours. Okay, I agreed without thinking. Like, the last time he was storytelling, he was terrible at it. Like, one time, I fell down from the roof of a hut. It hurt. One time, I fell out of a tree in the water and almost drowned. That's his storytelling. Let's see if he's better now. I hadn't the slightest intention of going back to the dance and going by my experience. There was nothing to do in the camp at night. Especially as I knew a couple of nice stories. It should be able to really scare Rihanna. Alright, he knows scary stories. That was awesome. Right, nice. You first. Okay. She made herself comfortable, embraced the chair's back with her arms, and moved the candles as close to her face as possible. Once upon a time, in a village far away, there lived a boy, just a normal boy. He went to school, played with the other children. There was nothing special about him. One day, he made a bet with his friends that he wasn't scared to go to the abandoned house. Juliana left a long pause. Yeah. So, what was in the house? Liana says, don't interrupt me. Inventing it on the fly. She pouted her lips and continued. They say a witch had lived in that house, and people still see her ghost there by the night. Nobody knew for sure, but everybody was scared. The boy had said that it was all nonsense and that he was ready to spend a whole night there. So he did. But he didn't return in the morning. He was found hanged. Liana stopped talking again. Killing. Did he hang himself with his shoelaces? I said skeptically. She frowned again. At the end? Of course not. They buried the boy the way it was supposed to be. The coffin and stuff. His relatives and friends grieved, but they couldn't bring him back. Well, they did not. After a few days, people started to disappear in the village. Nobody knew how or why. They just vanished into thin air. The villagers wanted to call the police, but a friend of the boy who hanged himself in the witch's house told them that he'd seen the boy. Nobody believed him at first, but people just kept on disappearing. Then the villagers decided to dig up the coffin. There were long nail scratches on the inside of the lid, but there was no body. Where did he go? Juliana moved the candle away from her and made a scary face, or at least what she thought was a scary face. In the end, all of the villagers disappeared, and occasionally passers-by near the witch's house tell that they saw 2 ghosts. Liana blew out her candle and stopped talking. It looked like the story was finished. Wonderful! I applauded. Not quite Pulitzer Prize worthy, but... Are you scared? Frightened? Oh, I'm just shivering all over. Oh, whatever. Tell your story then. I'm sure I won't even flinch. Here we go. We've hyped this up. Let this be a scary story. Give me nightmares tonight. I triple dare you. I collected my thoughts and decided to tell a story that I had read on the blog of an acquaintance of mine a few months back. He was quite a good storyteller. At least I liked his style, so success was guaranteed. I certainly didn't remember the story word for word, so I told it with my own words. There is a faraway space station, the last boundary of humanity, located on the border with a hostile civilization. The third month of the ceasefire. Can't be really called ceasefire, more like not a war. A small group of survivors is exhausted by a long siege. On one hand, they can't retreat, leaving the outpost. On the other hand, they understand that they won't last even a minute if the enemy attacks. Despair is the best word to describe their situation. The food is running out. There is ammo only for a few shots, which will only seem like greeting fireworks. There is only plenty of air and water, owing to the regeneration systems. People didn't talk to each other for weeks at a time. They may just not see the point in wasting their time on communicating while death is at the door. Or behind the meters thick station armor, to be precise. It is really better just to wait for the rescue or enemy attack. Both outcomes will lead to the end of this torture. Another awful one says if you get a Vol ritual, you can fight Sirius and Atziri at the same time, with map mods affecting them. Oof. That sounds kinda fucked. It is really better to... Alright, we need the end to this torture. This situation looks like a chess game against an invisible opponent. The hardest part, endgame. Any wrong move will lead to defeat. Yours or your enemies. Does the enemy know about it? They may be afraid of making a wrong move too. Meanwhile, the humans may move their king, with only one square forward, and then it's one square back again. Any other move will automatically lead to defeat. A step forward is an implied threat to attack. A step backward is a deliberate necessity of defense. The game would be much easier if the opponent was sitting in front of you. Even experienced chess players can't hide nervous eye movements, the occasional drop of sweat, or shaky hands. Moving backwards isn't always defensive though, says Banana Waffle Monkey. Yeah, it's like, what is backwards in this context? Like, it could be like lost in translation, it could be retreating. Could be the word that they were looking for. Make the metaphor work. Like if you're punishing an overextension. Yeah. I mean, it's not a perfect metaphor, but I think the metaphor would work better in chess. If it was against Colgate in on tap says retreating. Yeah, it could also be that like a better metaphor would be to move the king or not move the king, because moving the king usually it's a defensive move, not always. And as you say, punishing an overextension can be helpful. But like looking at the chessboards and counting all moves in a game and throughout all games, like the percentage of poker metaphor. poker metaphor. I don't understand what you mean. But yeah, moving the king is usually defensive in compared to all other. Oh yeah, all right, yeah. With this last sentence, a poker metaphor would be better. Their reading tells more important news. Yeah, because yeah, in chess, the poker face doesn't really matter as much. A little bit nervous movements and stuff like that. Yeah, you got a point. Poker metaphor would probably be better. On the one hand, but then the whole war thing wouldn't make sense. War is more like chess war. I don't know. On the other hand, everything is futile. Everyone realizes that the situation is hopeless because no one would decide to make a move or escape the imminent defeat. On the other hand, when seeing the opponent in front of you, understanding that he is totally like you and can make a mistake, you can more easily stake in everything. The opponent may feel the same difficulties. Well, I mean, you can have different strategies, right? When playing chess as well. You can make an obvious move, but if your mind game is on point, you can stress them out so they miss out on an obvious trick. I've been a DARPA. I've gotten beaten like that before by mind games. These are the circumstances of the few men and women on the edge of the universe. There were no orders from headquarters for several days. Though the last orders had contained nothing useful, only the usual demand to keep on defending. This sounds like a band of brothers. It's a good show. That's why Garry Kasparov lost to the Deep Blue in their second set of games. Yeah. It programmed the computer to fuck with the timings of the moves occasionally in complex situations. Oh! I had no idea about that. That's fun. Programmed in mind games, eh? One square forward, one square back, swinging of an eternal pendulum. At the beginning of the 4th month, the commander decided to retreat. He reasons that the lives of his soldiers are more important than the mythical ideals of humanity. No one will judge him for this. I don't understand how Simeon is thinking. How is this gonna scare a 14-year-old girl? What is he thinking? I'm surprised she hasn't interrupted him yet and just said, "This is stupid." Moreover, they can't change anything. The preparation don't take much time. The greatest asset you can save from a sinking ship is your life. The whole station crew board the rescue vessel. The launch sequence starts. 3, 2, 1, and nothing. The bay doors don't open. They send a mechanic down to check for malfunctions, but they don't find anything. The doors should open, but they don't open for the second time, or a third time. The commander ordered his crew to leave the station in rescue pods, but they can't launch either. They explain it as technical malfunctions. The crew tries to communicate with headquarters in vain. After a few days, the executive officer notices that there is nothing on the radars, nothing at all. No planets, no asteroids, no enemy ships, just an endless darkness. And then Offermonkey says, so you have a position that's supposed to be long and drawn out, hard to calculate. The computer doesn't give a shit since at that time it was able to calculate multiple 100,000 moves per second. So imagine you're Gary. You spend a couple of minutes thinking of a good move, and this fucking computer responds in a couple of seconds. I mean, yeah. I remember seeing that in the Go match, that sometimes the the, the Go AI, I don't remember the name of it, took like ages to do a move, and that's fucked up. But you said it fucked him up in the first round because it just responds fast and fast and fast, and it stresses him out, right? And then in the second round, they screw it up so it slows him down, and then it starts questioning why is it slowing down? What's happening? Because it's a mind game. Is that what you meant? AlphaGo, there we go. AlphaGo. Thanks. Cognitive on that. Just endless darkness, eh? They run out of food in a month. Everybody thinks that it is the end, but no one dies. Not after a day, a week, not even after a month. As if there is no need for food to sustain human life. At this moment, the majority of the crew goes insane. Some of them just stay in their rooms and pray. Some wander around in the station. Some try to commit suicide, but neither point-blank shots with plasma guns, nor hydrotank diving, nor even simply slitting the veins brings any results. Days pass by, months, or maybe even years. Nobody keeps track of time. Insane people recover their minds again, and normal people go insane. It repeats many times. In the end, the crew accepts its condition. They start to make up occupations, theatrical stagings, sports tournaments, readings of self-written books. A lot of family couples appear, and many more break up. It is an infinite flow of time, an closed loop of human life, and only the darkness on the radar reminds them of the emptiness outside. There is an emptiness inside Station 2. In the end, people stop living. They just lie in their rooms and sleep. Not 24/7 at first, but as time goes by, they learn how to fall into a trance. Every person has his own dreams. One returns to his childhood. One gets his lost love back. One defends the ideals of humanity with a blaster in his hand. Some other just wander in space, shabby from skirmishes with the enemies. A rescue vessel docks with the station. The boarding squad gets inside. The whole station looks like a piece of scrap metal which has floated in space for 1,000 years. The reactor has shut down a long time ago. There were marks of the laser shots on the walls. The equipment was all smashed. They found decayed skeletons of people who died horribly defending the frontier of humanity in almost every room. And only one cryptic message sent to the headquarters implied that something was wrong. Save us. We just want to die. I finished the story and looked at Uliana. Her face was concealed by the darkness. Well, that's the story. I blew out the light. Uliana shrieked, rose up and threw herself towards me. We fell on the floor. What's up with you? Nothing. Her voice sounded very scared. Like my story hit the jackpot. Oh, it worked. I mentally congratulated myself. I don't know if I'm jaded. I didn't find that story scary. It's weird. The ending was weird as well. Could have just ended with them all falling asleep. Forever. Or not. I don't know. I'm guessing the skeletons made it more scary, I suppose, for a kid. Liana wasn't having fun though. She embraced me, shivered and sobbed. What's wrong with you, you silly thing? I patted her head. It's just a story. It's not real. You and your stupid stories. Liana cuddled up to me more. Were you that scared? Yeah. Frankly, I didn't expect such an honest answer from her. Everything's all right. Time heals all wounds. She'll calm down. Listen, Semyon. What? Never mind. It's nothing. She burned her face in my chest. Minutes passed. Okay, I understand. Maybe we should go. I listened. Liana snored quietly. Hey, wake up! Can you even fall asleep from fear? Yeah, maybe you can. Wake up, I said. No reaction. I tried to stand up. Liana certainly didn't weigh more than 40 kilograms, but imagine yourself lying under such a weight. It's really not easy to stand up. Don't try to stand up. You push her off and then you stand up. You would think that Liana was dead if not for her breathing. I certainly could make more effort, but then I'd wake her up and it will all start again. Such an inviable situation. There is no option to wait until she wakes up by herself, though. She certainly won't sleep all day until morning after such a story. I look through the window at the starry sky. I wonder if there's really a distant outpost with ghost crew. My eyes slowly closed, and in a moment I fell asleep. Day 4. Oh, we wake up in the library? I felt warmth in my dream. Let's actually save the game right here. And let's call that a night. And yeah, be back tomorrow for some more Path of Exile and some more Everlasting Summer. We're getting close to being finished with it. Starting the next book, I guess.